Okay, it's fun overall, and I think that's why. Well, also yes, it's still less buggy than the Game Freak games. Fine, but there's also no like there are like a lot of stuff that wouldn't make it that you would need to have in a game that it doesn't have. I think I'm sure they'll fix it because they've made like $7 gazillion in like the last day or so. But how can you not copy this in the AI era? Remind me. Okay. There literally was an earthquake. Yeah, I know. Pokemon Company releases a statement on Palworld. Inquiries regarding other companies' games. We have received many inquiries regarding another company's game released in January 2024. We have not granted any permission to the use of Pokemon IP or assets in that game. We intend to investigate and take appropriate measures to address any acts that infringe on intellectual property rights related to the Pokemon. We will continue to cherish and nurture each and every Pokemon in this world and work to bring the world together through Pokemon in the future, the Pokemon Company. Dude, Pokemon has been doing this for a very long time. Okay? If this was the case, Digimon would not work. Who snitched? Every motherfucker on Twitter. Half of the dudes were mad and saying that Palworld was definitely doing AI assets when that wasn't the case, apparently. But it was wild that so many people were just like, no, straight up, these are AI, these are AI. And people believed it. And so many Nintendo adults were just like mad that this guy just steals shit. Palworld was stealing though. Like, yeah, I mean, they made fucking Pokemon. They made Pokemon. Yeah, it's plagiarism. I know. Did you feel the earthquake? No, that wasn't you walking. It was a 4.5 earthquake. There are a couple pals that are straight rips from Pokemon besides the name, like Bristilla Isabella song. Yeah. They ripped the assets from actual games. A lot of people are saying that this is just good old theft of assets, not AI, like actual Nintendo assets. Yeah, I mean, I think they have a Zelda clone too, right? Like, I don't know why. I don't know why people are just like, I don't know why people are fucking losing their minds over it. I mean, it's stealing from Nintendo. Like, you're stealing from Nintendo. It's going to be really hard for me to. It's going to be really hard for me to come to terms with like digital property rights for fucking Nintendo. Okay? They made a good ass game. Many of these legal battles have been done before. Nintendo is incredibly litigious, as you guys know. If they were successful, they would have absolutely eviscerated Digimon and so many other Pokemon clones. I mean, I get this stealing IP claims, but what does that have to do with AI? Because the guy who made it, the dev, one of the main devs of the company that made Palworld is what do you call it? He's like a weird crypto guy. He's a weird NFT guy. He's an AI guy now, which is sus. The CEO is like a crypto bro, which is whatever. But Palworld in and of itself is derivative of Pokemon. Totally fucking copy paste with like a little bit of changes. He's doing the good old Ludwig yoink and twist. Okay. Pokemon itself also, yes, ripped it as well to a certain degree. But the AI claims are exaggerated too. Yeah. No, I'm saying, okay, there's two different claims, or there's multiple claims. One was AI, not true, as far as we know. The other one was they basically copy pasted and like maybe changed up a little bit the Pokemon characters, and they would do side by side comparisons. that's also, while true, doesn't really hold in court, legally speaking. And the last one is not Digimon, sorry. The last one is that they actually took the direct assets. Okay, they actually took the direct assets like 1-to-1 and stole them or ripped them and copy pasted them. So like the actual sizing of the Pokemon like fits almost entirely. Okay. It sets a precedent, though, as someone who's in the industry that is going through shit and working for broke-ass wages. You have to understand the frustration, right? It not only fucks other games, but it fucks other studios. As an artist, I'm very concerned of this becoming a trend. So here's the thing. I do understand what you're saying. The point is, however, that as far as parody laws goes and as far as like direct copyright theft goes, none of what they are doing is neither technically illegal, nor is it all that far off from what other people have done. It's just that Palworld has become infinitely more successful than all of these other parodies and all of these other versions of it. Can streamers be held liable for pumping the game? Fuck no. Why are you guys fantasizing about like a legal battle that Nintendo is going to win and then also extend all the way to the streamers? No shot. So how is it not illegal? How is that illegal? How is that legal though? Here, one great example that I immediately was thinking about is like the target market, right? The fact that you can just like beat the shit out of these Pokemon and like shoot them with guns. And also it has like a Ark style, Rust style, like open world survival meta built on top of it, almost entirely changes it. Unless you're directly calling him fucking Pikachu, okay, with the same powers and shit like that. And then on top of that, doing it, like there was a guy who modded Palworld to turn it into Pokemon, I think. I don't know if that was fake or not, because it looked really good and it was way too fast of a modding operation to turn it into fucking real Pokemon. But I assume that that would be heavily illegal. Like that mod, you can actually get into trouble. Like you will legitimately get into trouble for making that mod, and you will get DMCA'd immediately. You'll get sued, you'll get DMCA'd, you'll get clapped. Palworld, on the other hand, I don't think that Palworld in and of itself will get that same legal scrutiny. Okay? They charge money for it? That's crazy. That's insane. That guy's crazy. Brother, that guy was charging money for that? Are you kidding me? Nintendo arrested someone and put a lien on their fucking wages for the rest of their lives like last month. Okay. That's insane. See, that's what I mean. Like, Nintendo is a very litigious company. Okay? Nintendo is a very, very litigious company. You'll be absolutely cooked, dumpstered, if you will. Those assets are probably stolen from a person who's been making new 3D models for Pokemon 2, most likely. But as far as like a video game looking damn near identical to another video game, as far as a video game looking damn near identical to a video game, that's not going to be enough. Okay? That's not going to be enough. Now, on top of that, here, don't fall for the lies that Palworld stole assets. This takedown of the screenshots of those videos proves that Palworld models are different. Wait, what? The Pal mesh orange, the Pokemon mesh is black. The front view is the difference more obvious. The Pokemon mesh have large ears. So what happened? Like the guy who was saying that this was an asset, these were built on stolen assets, were just like, it was a lie or something. All the side-by-side stuff is stupid bullshit for the most part, where it's vaguely looking familiar, but there are a few things like Primarina's head is being completely one-to-one stolen. They don't I just... Yeah. Wow, yeah, so different. Dude, it's not about whether or not it's like close enough. Okay? It's not about whether or not it's close enough. They what do you call it? I don't think it works that way. Like I don't think you could just be like, oh, well, it looks really close to it. It's kind of like this, okay? Um, it's like Genshin Impact looking damn near identical in many ways, being a different game altogether, but looking damn near identical in many ways to Zelda, and people like yelling about that originally. Obviously, this is a more direct comparison because Genshin Impact is like very different than Zelda overall. Because this is just straight up Pokemon. So it's more like if Genshin Impact was doing a Zelda copy, which for the record, this company has apparently done a direct Zelda copy as well. So, the likeness is nothing to worry about, and both companies are based in Japan, and Japan has no fair use laws. But the most concerning part is the sound effects straight ripped from Breath of the Wild, and nobody talks about the sound effects. Yeah, I don't know what is like actually straight ripped. Okay, I don't know what is actually straight up ripped from Pokemon, from Game Freak. But as far as like Pokemon goes, it's one of the most successful IPs on the planet. And I would say that as one of the most successful IPs on the planet, there have been a million copies. I think the reason why Palworld is getting way more anger and way more interest is not because of a direct rip of Pokemon. Many games have done that already in almost identical ways. It's just that they are profoundly successful because they just made a game that has a lot of flaws, by the way. If you just judge it specifically for it's just, if you judge it specifically on the boundaries of like closeness to Pokemon, yeah, it's just very close. It's very similar. But or if you judge it as a video game, as a standalone video game, and it doesn't have that like capturing Pokemon like funness to it, I guess, it's just kind of a shit game. There's no like cohesive, coherent storyline. The AI bricks regularly. Like, there's a lot of issues, but it's fun overall. Okay, it's fun overall, and I think that's why. Well, also, yes, it's still less buggy than the Game Freak games. Fine, but there's also no like there are like a lot of stuff that wouldn't make it that you would need to have in a game that it doesn't have. I'm sure they'll fix it because they've made like $7 gazillion in like the last day or so. But how can you not copy this in the AI era? Remind me not to set a bot generating a cool mashup that I had and then share it with buds. Overall, I think there are some people who really love Pokemon and think that like these guys are stealing from Nintendo and they're mad. And then there's the valid fear that artists have. Okay. The valid fear that artists have is like, well, what the fuck? These guys can just like straight up come in, steal my artwork, put it into a video game, and I have no recourse. Except you didn't have recourse for Nintendo either. And that's kind of the shitty reality of the situation. It doesn't matter if it's the fucking Palworld devs doing it to you, and it doesn't matter if it's fucking Nintendo doing it to you. And a lot of people, I think, personally think that like the Palworld devs did it to Nintendo so they could do it to me too. And it's like, brother, Nintendo does that shit all the time. I'm going to steal your stuff, see how you like it. You're going to steal my IP? Oh, fuck. He was just doing an ad break debate. God damn it. Because I was about to say, brother, go ahead. Like, you're talking to the wrong guy on that front. But, yeah, as much as I like the top of the hour ad break, yeah. So, this also isn't new law. The most famous meatball demon from Doom is a trace of the face of the D&D art design of one of the most famous, Astro Dreadnought. Yeah. This is almost comparing the Palworld dev to Nintendo. It's a bad comparison. It's early access. Are there this for Palworld? It's a fun game. I don't know. I really liked it. I don't know why you're like coming in here and thinking that I'm like you're on high alert and you're thinking that I'm like actually fucking shitting on it or something. But yeah, don't act like they've reinvented the wheel here. They definitely fucking made a very fun they made a very fun Pokemon rip that I would say is even better than many things that Game Freak has posted and put out in the last decade or so. It's a good remix. It's a fun remix. I'm on board with it, I think. But I don't like, I understand why artists get mad and get very frustrated about it. But the reality is, if I were an artist, which I am not, but if I were an artist, I'd be infinitely more mad about the reality that these major corporations steal art all the fucking time. They do. And they are multi-billion-dollar franchises too on top of that. So if theft is at the heart of a lot of art and all art is derivative, so those boundaries are blurred all the time, I'd rather have some motherfucker steal from Pokemon and Game Freak and Nintendo than steal from the random artists on the ground. So, yeah. And it's still shitty when it happens. Doesn't matter if it's like a smaller person doing it or a much larger person doing it. It's still shitty. And I hope that you can litigate. But I don't think that Palworld will be sued by Nintendo anytime soon. Because, like, think about how litigious Nintendo is. Think about how fast they moved on the mod that was using Pokemon. Think about how fast they moved on the modder that actually took the Palworld game and slapped on the Pokemon sticker on it. Now think about Palworld in general. Nintendo has always been one to take and use their artist work without their say. My stepfather worked there for 25 years as head graphic designer, and his contract had a clause that the work he created for a set period of time after he left was still owned by Nintendo. That's what I mean. Nintendo is going to do extrajudicial killings over this game. No, I think Nintendo will probably fucking sit back and hope that the fad dies away. You know? The biggest surprise for me is how Microsoft let it on Game Pass. I don't know why they take that risk. What do you mean you don't know why they take that risk? First of all, from what I understand, it plays like dog shit on the Xbox. It's actually pretty easy to play on the PC. It's great, but it has a lot of issues on the Xbox. But I don't think it's that shocking. One, Microsoft has a fucking fat legal team. That's one. And two, I'm telling you, like, what they are. Oh, Game Pass is PC doofus? Well, regardless, I think the Xbox, it doesn't play well on the Xbox, is what people were saying. So it plays sick on the Steam Deck? Oh, that's awesome. I think Palworld is a fad. There's a limit to what you can do after a few weeks. Yeah. Also, we don't know if AI was used on the game, so we're going on assumption. The talk of it being plagiarized by Nintendo, we'll have to see if Nintendo thinks it's worth that, if it even is close to being a benign asset flip or whatever. But yeah, fuck Nintendo. They're dog. They're awful. Palworld on Switch. Not really. Why? Oh, okay. Oh, did you find the light bar? Oh, you didn't find the light bar. I don't know where the fuck it went. Yeah. You have the same copyright opinion
Japan
as pirate
doesn't
software?
have any fair use for its copyright law. There's no such thing as fair use in Japan. None. Doesn't exist. So with that in mind, if Nintendo wants to go after you, if you're in the US or Europe or anywhere else, because you're showing off Nintendo stuff, they have every right to, because there's no fair use in Japan. They can stop you from doing that. They've done it many, many times. It may feel unsavory, but that's within their purview.
Asmongold, an amazing take when it came to the thoughts and opinions of artists when it comes to AI. I think that, God, so I don't know what Asmongold said, but I assume he probably said something along the lines of "sucks to suck." Okay. The thing is, like, let me guess. I haven't seen it, but I assume it was something along the lines of "sucks to suck." If the game is fun, people are gonna play it. And the it's like one of those takes where it's like, I get what you're trying to say, but that's not gonna be well received. Um as far as AI art goes, it's dog water for the time being, but I feel like it is going to be so much better in the future, and it is directly trained off of motherfucking artists. It is so awful. Okay? It's awful. It sucks. And I mean, like, not that it visually sucks. I'm saying because it visually kind of sucks right now, but it's going to get better. What sucks is the principle behind it, because, and I've talked about this already, you're literally stealing someone's craft and someone's work. Like, you're stealing someone's strokes, right? And then you are, with a machine, recreating it. Like, that's insane. And that absolutely sucks. That absolutely fucking sucks. Artists already don't make a lot of money. They make all their money by selling their art. And I think it's awful. I've said this before. I've talked about AI art before. I think, like, AI is impossible to avoid. And I do think that eventually, like, AI will lead to better art down the line. As in, like, if you figure out a way to use it to your advantage, right? If you figure out a way to use it to your advantage as an artist, potentially you could maybe use it as a tool. But the issue is, as everything else, it is used as a mechanism to displace something that is, I guess, like the final remaining part of what makes art cool, which is the imperfections, which is the fact that it's a human being making it, all the way from, like, dumbass stick figures down to, like, beautifully crafted pieces. So it is shitty. Might be able to use it to teach you how to do different styles. I use AI to help with Excel shit. Yeah, there are even specific models trained to mimic an artist's style. It feels so fucked. I can't imagine being an artist and seeing that. Yeah. Problem is, it's like a replacement. It also is, like, making so many things awful. We talked about how AI is making Google, is bricking Google right now. Like, it's probably one of the most, like, incredible monopolies out there that we have just allowed to exist as a monopoly. But we forgot in that process that, like, Google is an ad service. Google's not just a search engine. It's not the front page of the internet. It's a fucking ad service. And that ad service benefits from all of these fucking AI populated pages that are filled to the brim with ads. So you can game it and totally brick it. And if you can brick Google with AI, you can definitely brick art with AI as well. So I don't know. What's going on? Kaya, come here. She's in your face. Not please, no layman's take on comp sci. What? What do you mean? Nintendo sued the mod adding person, but not the Palworld devs while it was being developed for 5 years? Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's my argument. And I'm talking about comp sci anyway. What the fuck does that have to do with comp sci?
Right? Normal stuff. Super normal stuff. Now, with that in mind, let's say that Nintendo wanted to go after Pocket Pair and said, hey, there's something wrong. Well, Pocket Bear's been working in this game publicly for 3 years. They haven't done it. Pocket Bear's now released the game and they have 5 million sales, and they still haven't done it. And on top of all of this, on top of everything else, they're both in Japan, which means it wouldn't even be an international lawsuit. It'd be a local lawsuit. So if they're not doing it, why is everyone on Twitter bitching? Pretty sure that Nintendo, one of the most litigious game companies in the world, would have...
Damn, this dude verbatim, bar for bar, said the exact same shit that I did, with the exception that I didn't even bring up Japan's lack of fair use laws. But yeah, he's right. I mean, it makes so much sense. Exactly. Is a program that destroys the ability of your work to be scrapped efficiently for AI. I recommend artists use this. Glaze.cs use Chicago. It's a program that destroys the ability for your work to be scraped efficiently for AI and remixes it so it shows something else to the AI model. It's a way for us to fight back and actually can fully ruin a model. That's awesome. Pirate Software is a known scammer. Wait, what? Is he? Why would he be a scammer? Why are you saying that? Why is it that people always say stuff like this? Like, motherfuckers in the chat will be like, oh, this guy disagrees with me. Guess what, dude? He fucking sucks, actually. You don't know this, but he murdered somebody. And I'm like, how am I supposed to be... How am I supposed to, like what? What are you doing? Like... I can't tell if it's like, he seems like a really nice guy. He seems like a really cool dude. I've seen like 2 or 3 shorts of his now on stream, and he seems like a cool guy. Anyway, he's a pirate. Get real, dude. Okay, that's funny. Anyway, but overall, doesn't seem to be AI. I don't know what the asset flip situation looks like, but I feel like if it was and this is the last ad break I'm running, I feel like if it was a fucking real situation that Nintendo could sue them on, you bet your ass they don't need a bunch of fucking Nintendo dick riders or understandably frustrated artists who are worried about AI stealing their art to like let them know. You know what I mean? You think they don't know? They've fucking $100 million legal team just specifically waiting to clap your ass cheeks for naming your son Pikachu. They'll come into your house, break your fucking door down, and murder your firstborn. Okay? And then they'll put a lien on your entire fucking wages for the rest of your goddamn life for the crime of naming your son Pikachu. Okay? You think those guys are not going to go after this fucking competitor? Yeah, they're probably waiting till he least expects it.